Hi, it's Ashley from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials as well as give a lot of baking business tips. So today we are back for another cake tutorial, and today I actually made red velvet, which I have never ever done on this channel, but in this video I'm not going to show you how I made that. In another video coming up I will show you that. Today I'm just going to show you how to make this really cute mug cake, and not the normal mug cake where you heat it up in the microwave, but an actual cake that is made to look like a mug. The other day you guys might have seen the video where I made the best cream cheese frosting. I am using that exact frosting from that video, and I'm using it to both cover and fill the cake. Now this is only a 3-inch cake. It's very small, but I'm still icing it like I would a traditional cake. And you'll notice that I left the dome on top because that's going to get all covered up anyway, and because this has such little amounts of cake in it already to begin with, I really don't want to cut or trim that away. Now, if you're just starting out making cakes, you've probably seen a number of ways people have crumb coated their cakes, which is what we're doing here. I like to use a piping bag when possible because I find it gives me the exact amount that I actually need on the outside, and it makes things way more easier and controlled. You'll notice here that I'm just kind of swooping up that excess icing. It really doesn't matter too much what you're doing with that icing on top because, like I mentioned, it's going to get covered up. So it really matters what you do on the outer edge. That cream cheese frosting is very much like an American buttercream frosting, so it does crust in the fridge, and I did leave that for about 30 minutes. So in order to make sure that things adhere to that crust, you are going to want to put either a little bit more buttercream on there, you can steam the buttercream, or put a little bit of shortening on there. And to get this satin ice fondant nice and workable, I did put a little bit of shortening in there, and then I used that handy tool, which is just a pastry cutter, to make sure that it was even all the way around. Really important that it is even because this is a mug and not just a fondant covered cake. We do need to make sure that that's nice and even on the top and the bottom. I do make a little mistake here. I really should have put those bubble tea straws in prior to covering this with fondant, because then now I have those little pieces showing, which I ended up having to put some little fondant dots on there just to make it look a little bit more clean. Then I took some 18 gauge wire and put it into those bubble tea straws, and now I'm just trying to cover up that wire. And the way I did that was with 2 strips, and I'm just adhering all of this with a little bit of water. The reason that you put those bubble tea straws in there, and it really is important that you do that, is because if you just try to do it with the wire, the pressure of that wire is going to rip through your fondant, and it's just going to rip right through your whole cake. Now, surprisingly, I don't own any holly cutters, so I'm using this leaf cutter, and then I'm just kind of taking this piping tip to create my holly. And to create the little veins and indentations, I'm just using my X-Acto knife, but really use whatever cake tools are available to you. Now, I definitely wasn't too picky about what the ends of my holly looked like because I knew I was going to be covering it up. So here I am using some American buttercream instead of the cream cheese frosting. I find my American buttercream is just a little bit stiffer, and it can hold up to decor like this just a little bit better. And I'm just piping this exactly how you would whipping cream on top of your hot chocolate because I want to make this look like a really fun and delicious hot chocolate. And the tip that I used for that was just a classic 1M star tip. And don't you just love the way I filmed myself putting that holly on there? Yeah, you really couldn't see anything. I apologize about that. When I put those on there, I just made sure to use a little bit of water. And now I'm drizzling some of this melted dark chocolate all on top. You could be fancy and use ganache, especially if you were doing several of these, you could. But I just used my chocolate that I always have lying around, and I just reheat. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting on some of these fun sprinkles. I love these red sprinkles. You could use whatever you've got on hand though. Whatever Christmas mix will look good on here. And honestly, any Christmas mix is probably going to look beautiful and just adds that really nice crunch. Then of course, because it's a hot chocolate, I have to add on these marshmallows. Though realistically, of course, my marshmallows would be floating in my hot chocolate and not on top of the whipped cream. But still, it looks good. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm just being 100% honest, that base went through a lot of transformations. At first I was going to leave it blank, then my husband suggested I do some writing on it. There was some script on it before, wasn't a fan of it, took it off, and here we are. I decided to go with a little bit of a splatter, which is easily done with whatever colorings you have on hand. You can use airbrush color, you can use vodka mixed with food gel, whatever you desire, or you could just leave it blank. And here is our hot chocolate mug, fully made out of red velvet with our cream cheese frosting and a little bit of that American buttercream as well on top. Now let's get into the pricing of this cake, which admittedly is a little bit more tricky because it's so small. I don't think I would offer this as a custom order at all, especially since my minimum would be quite high. But if I ran a full-on storefront, I might have these available, or they could be on for pre-order for a very specific time frame. Now let's get into the subscriber submission of the video, and we are getting so festive up in here at Sweet Dreams Bake Shop. I am so excited for Christmas. I love these cupcakes. They're so simple and delicious. Go and check them out on Instagram. And if you want to be the next subscriber submission of the video, then please follow me at SD Bake Shop on Instagram, where you can either tag me in a photo or send me a photo of your favorite creation. All and any desserts are welcome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading weekly, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!